You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Brian Kelly in the LSU football program landed another commitment out of a busy recruiting weekend. Another Louisiana prospect, Joel Rogers, a four-star safety out of Westfeld. It's West Feliciana High School. Committed to LSU Monday evening. So he is a four-star, 6 foot, 190 pounds. He is the 16th commit for LSU here in the 2024 class. A couple of the specs here on Rogers. So Rogers is a consensus four-star prospect. He is the number 3. This is from On 3, the number in the composite. The number 353 national player, the 353rd overall player in the country. He's the 31st best safety in the country and the 8th best player in Louisiana for the class of 2024. When you look at some of the offers that he had, I mean, you were talking about like squads. And I know we talk about it often, and I say this often, but it's worth repeating. I am most impressed, not necessarily by a star rating or a ranking or anything like that. Mostly when I look at a recruit's profile, I want to see who else offered that player. That will tell, like, if you're LSU and you beat out a bunch of G5 schools, not as impressive. If you're LSU and you get a commitment from Joel Rogers and you beat out Florida State, Miami, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, he had an official visit to Alabama scheduled that he canceled, yes, you have my attention. And Joel Rogers picks LSU over some of those other really big programs. I'll put some context around Joel Rogers here in a second, but one thing is very clear. The LSU roster and this LSU staff just absolutely has to make safety a priority in this class. And it's evident they are doing so already. Again, out of necessity, they are making safety a priority. Remember, last year, you had to go into the transfer portal to get guys like Joe Fouché and Greg Brooks. You had Major Burns coming off an injury. You moved Jay Ward back to safety. Remember, like, you had a real need at safety a year ago. And you put the Band-Aid over it, and you got some really good performances. But, of course, Joe Fouché's gone. You got Greg Brooks returning, but he played nickel. Is he going to go back and play safety? You got Major Burns back, but can he stay healthy? That's a really big question worth asking this year. And you had to go back into the transfer portal. You went and got Andre Sam. You offered 2 other safeties that you missed out on, but you get Andre Sam, who we talked about him, a guy was from Iowa, Louisiana, went to McNeese, and then to Marshall. He committed to Tulane, and then was back in the portals, now coming to LSU. But after that, it's Langlois, who's a redshirt sophomore, hasn't played much, mostly due to injury. You got Jordan Allen, who's a redshirt freshman. You got Kylan Jackson. You got Ryan Yates, a couple of true freshmen. Point is, you just don't have a lot of skins on the wall at the safety position. And then when you look ahead to 2024, Brooks and very likely Major Burns are going to be gone, and and Andre Sam is in his final season. So you're looking at a combination of Langlois, Allen, Jackson, Yates, the guys who haven't played at all being back for their final season. And I guess you could throw Sage Ryan in there as well, depending on if he ends up playing nickel, dime, or safety. But either way, you have got to attack the safety position for 2024. It's why when you look at this recruiting class for LSU, of the 16 commitments they have, 3 of them are safeties. The second highest rated prospect in the class for LSU right now is Maurice Williams, the safety out of Texas. Deshaun McBride, safety out of Denham Springs, is already committed as well. Juwan Johnson is listed as either a safety or a cornerback out of Lafayette Christian, depending on which scouting service or whatever it may be. And now Joel Rogers, another safety. So either 3 or 4 safeties, depending on where Juwan Johnson ends up playing in college, you've already got committed in this class. So make no mistake, Safety is a massive, massive position of need because you don't have a lot of experience there, and the experience you do have right now is going to be gone after the season. So you've got to replenish numbers at that position, and that's why they're working so hard to do it right now. The other thing that I think is pretty fascinating is with this commitment from Joel Rogers, that gives LSU 16 commits. And of the 16 commitments for LSU, 10 of the 16 are from Louisiana. Again, and year to year it can vary based on position of need, that is it a bumper crop in the state, and years vary. But 10 of your 16 commits already are from Louisiana. There, of the top 12 players in the state, 6 have pledged verbally. All 6 have picked LSU. So the top 6 a better way to say it, the top 6 committed prospects in Louisiana for 2024 have all picked LSU. Trades Green has picked LSU. Deshaun McBride, who we mentioned, has picked LSU. Kalaj Cobbins, Juwan Johnson, Joel Rogers. The top committed players in the state, Demyron Johnson, the top committed players in the state have all picked LSU. Kyrie Lee. And then when you look at it beyond that, another 3 are all crystal balled to pick LSU. Dominic McKinley, the top player in the state out of Acadiana, he's a heavy lean toward LSU. Wardell Mack, the number 3 player in the state, heavy lean to LSU. Tylen Singleton, the number 4 player in the state, heavy lean to LSU. The numbers 5, 6, 7, 8 players in the state are already committed to LSU. Kobe Young, wide receiver out of Holy Cross in New Orleans, heavy lean to LSU. Point is, Brian Kelly and his staff, for as much question and concern as there was going to be about his ability to recruit Louisiana and in the SEC, flush that. That is no longer a conversation that even needs to be had whatsoever. Kelly himself has a tremendous track record, and he has very clearly assembled a staff that is more than capable of recruiting the best players in the country nationally while putting a fence around Louisiana and taking care of keeping the best prospects home that you want to keep here. So, job well done. Another Louisiana prospect, 4-star safety Joel Rogers, picks LSU for the class of 2024. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.